It's a bit hard to hear here, but like
Yeah, but we're gonna try.
I'll try.
Here, how about me and you scoot back, and then these guys can come a little like further in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It'll be a little better.
Yeah, I think that's better.
I came back with water instead.
All right. Did a little moving.
Oh yeah.
Check it. These are, you've used one of these mics before?
Yeah.
You're gonna want to speak like right and down
to
to
here.
Yeah.
I got that.
Check.
Am I at a good
Check,
angle? I
check.
feel like I'm at a whole different angle. Okay, thank you.
This good?
Reassurance.
Let's go. Yo. Welcome back to my stream, guys. Like, it's been a while. It's been so many busy activities, traveling. But I'm glad we're finally back. Right now we're in Denver, and it's crazy. Like, full professional setup. We have the lights. I have a couple of my friends with me. Introduce yourself. What's your name?
I'm Nico.
This is Nico,
I'm Swarthy Hatter.
and
Maseo.
yeah. So you guys were in Denver. You know, ETH Denver is a great event. It's been happening since. For those who don't know ETH Denver, it's a crypto event that has been happening since 2018. I think 2018, right?
Yeah, I don't know how
It's
long.
2018. 2018. This is my first one coming. I've always wanted to come here, but it's always like one problem or the other, like traveling, visa, because I'm Nigerian, you know. So like, Nigeria is so far from here. So but I'm glad I'm able to make it this year, and I'm
Welcome.
glad I have you guys here with me. So, you know, you guys want to tell me what you guys are working on right now? Are you working on anything? What's been the market been for you? You know, are you building? Are you trading? You know, just let me know what's going on. What's going on? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I'm Nico Gallardo. I'm the ecosystem lead at Octant, and Octant is a protocol that allows foundations and DAOs and any kind of organization to park their treasury in what we call DeFi vaults to generate yield and distribute that yield to their ecosystems, to different projects, to campaigns, whatever they want, in a very automated and seamless way, and with different allocation mechanisms.
so you guys help like with the staking and farming and those type of things?
Yeah, well, we connect to different existing DeFi protocols to generate the yield, and anybody can contribute to the vaults that support the ecosystems of like whatever ecosystem is using.
How long have you been working on this? Are you guys live yet?
Yeah, we actually just launched our V2. That was this week basically.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, and well, we had our vaults running for a little bit longer since December last year, but we have finally launched a migration from our V1 to V2, and our UI people can already start staking their GLM tokens into the protocol and also start using our DeFi vaults.
That's great. You guys work on the same project?
No, so I'm actually an operations team member at Nouns Builder. Nouns Builder is a community launch pad that makes it easy with no code to launch your own Nounish fork. A Nounish fork is essentially a community on-chain asset management stack. Allows the community to collectively govern the release of funds, mutual investment, or the distribution of a voting token.
Thank you, bro. What about you? What are you working on, bro?
I'm the founder of We The Media. We The Media is like a media platform focused on giving a voice to people historically who are marginalized. I've been documenting people in the blockchain space that are black specifically over the last couple of years. So I was actually in Nigeria last year for 2.5 months.
You were in Nigeria for 2.5 months.
Yeah,
2025.
I was 2025. I was in Abuja for the majority where I was staying, but I traveled to Lagos. I visited Web3 Bridge and did some interviews there. My team, they went to Ifanugu, the pop-up city that happened that Kevin organized. And yeah, man, over the last couple of years, I had a podcast where I was interviewing black people in this space, probably over 30 people, and now we got our first agency client last year, which is pretty sick.
like I didn't expect that to hear Nigeria from me because every time I say Nigeria, a lot of people from here they've not been to Nigeria. Have you been to Africa before?
No, but I'm actually going this December. I have a
you been
trip planned to Kenya.
To Kenya. Have you been to Africa before?
No, it's been my dream. But
So you need to
haven't
go
gone
to
yet.
Kenya and then you need to add Nigeria and then add South Africa.
All right.
But
Will
like
do.
that's really great, but because the way I started out in crypto myself, when Twitter Space came out, there was Clubhouse before Twitter Spaces. Clubhouse app there.
Clubhouse, yeah.
During lockdown and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I think Twitter launched their own Twitter Spaces. It looks like Clubhouse. So they didn't give everyone that feature. So they gave a few people to just test. And then I was one of the people that got it as a test feature. So like, okay, what can I do with this? So one day, my friend said, my friends, let's open a space and let's talk about crypto. So I said, Friday crypto talk. And then, boom, I gained like 3K followers in one day. It's like, oh.
No.
I said, okay. The following week, Friday,
When was that?
so it's early 2021.
Okay.
So it was like just before the first Doge run.
Yeah.
Just before the first Doge run of that year. Before the first BNB run. So following Friday, I did again like 5K followers. I was like, oh shit, I think this is my calling. So now I have to take this serious. I have to start doing spaces. I have to start doing podcasts. I have to start doing recordings. I have to start letting people come on my platform to tell their stories. I've had a lot of people on my spaces, like people I wouldn't even expect, like people that are my mentors, people that I look up to. I would just see someone sending you a request to join, like, oh, this guy wants to join my space, this guy knows me, So like in the media, so I've been doing that for a long time. So I said, I need to upgrade it now. I need to go into fully streaming, go into YouTube, go into full media stuff. So like it's great. And that's why I tell people about the opportunities we have in crypto. Actually, for someone like me that came from like Nigeria, 5 years ago, I didn't even know I would be in America. But crypto would give you anything you want to be. If you want to do media, you want to be a builder, you want to dev, you want to be a trader. Like I know people who have a career just from Reddit, making memes, making jokes about crypto, and before you know it, they upgrade their lives change. So it's good that we're able to tell these stories for people, and we're here now. I'm happy to be able to meet you guys to tell your stories. But I want you guys to tell my audience more about your products, though. Like I want people to know more about what you are building. I want more info, where they can search you, your Twitters, your Instagram, where they can check your projects out, things like that. I want more info.
Cool. Yeah, I can start. Well, my handle is at NickNode, NICNODE on Twitter. And I work at Octant, and their Twitter is, or X, I should say now. I kind of get used to it. It's Octant app, so OCTANTAPP. And yeah, I think I talked a little bit about the project, but maybe I could talk about like the vision, and maybe like we have us three, I guess, like pretty active in the sort of public goods space, and like moving forward this more, let's say, philanthropic side of blockchain, and like finding impactful and good use cases for blockchain that I think could be pretty interesting for us to discuss. Octant started by staking 100,000 ETH from a Golem Foundation and using the yield to finance public goods. We run a bunch of experiments, including even like climate tech, but we converged more and more towards funding Ethereum infrastructure primarily. But yeah, we've done a bunch of experiments, and we're at the point where we see that the funding space for public goods on Web3 and blockchain is drying a little bit. So we're finding different ways to make it a little bit more sustainable, and that's where Octant comes in to make it better. And yeah, I would love for you also to talk a little bit about Nouns. I think I don't know if like how savvy your audience is about it, but like maybe you can give a rundown of Nouns and all the impactful work that you guys
How much
have
do you
done.
know about Nouns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
So Nouns is a community art project that started, I might be a little off on the date, but I think it was in 2020. It was launched, and its defining features are that it features a daily auction of one NFT a day. and the full sale price of that auction ends up going into a community governed treasury, and that treasury is governed by the NFT tokens that are purchased at the auction. So one token equals one vote. If today the Nouns treasury sits somewhere between 8 and 12 million, depending on the current market price of Ethereum, and in a big way, what they are, the simplest way to put it is that they're an open source brand, right? Anybody, anywhere, all the art, all the licensing is all CC0. So you can take all that the Nouns has to offer, our visual identity. You can tap into the culture of our contributing members, and kickstart your whatever product or project or initiative that you're trying to get off the ground. And in the spirit of that, Nouns Builder allows communities to copy and deploy their own fork of Nouns. While Nouns started as an experiment, a lot of other communities have taken the model and applied it to a niche or a domain. And that's where we start to see communities doing really interesting things, like Nouns Africa is a community on the protocol that is currently sponsoring a few individuals to skate across the continent, talking about Web3 and getting to know people in real life. We have NARS DAO that supports extreme sports and public infrastructure for sports across the world. They've installed skate park installations and parkour parks in Africa and South America. And the list goes on the number of communities, the interesting projects, but a common issue these communities all face is sustainable funding for these public goods problems, or for these public goods projects. And so while we started out these communities, Nouns project in the middle of a bull market with lots of Ethereum, I think the first Noun went for like 658 ETH, something crazy like that.
Crazy.
So, we still have a substantial amount of funding left over from those early fundraises, but we don't have sustainable inflows for additional funding. And a lot of the major sources for public goods funding over the past 5 years have started to dry up or become a lot more selective over what types of projects they can facilitate. So what we're excited about working with Octant on is giving the treasuries on Nouns Builder the ability to use Octant to generate additional yield and continue to fund these public goods initiatives. We have I'd say 12 to 2 dozen active communities that use the protocol on a day-to-day basis that are all in a really similar state where they're approaching like the end of their ability to continue to spend and also ensure the longevity of their projects. And so almost all of them are actively looking for ways to get new sustainable revenue sources. And Nico and I, when you found us, we were talking about how our two projects can work together to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it actually. So yeah, keep an eye on.
That's really-
Can you say the handles of Nouns so that people can?
Oh
follow
yeah,
it?
okay.
You can follow
So
on
my
Twitter.
handle is I'm Swarthy Hatter. So my handle on everything is SWARTHYHATTER. That's Swarthy Hatter. And then if you're looking for Nouns Builder on Twitter, we are Nouns Builder. On Farcaster, we are just Builder, or Builder DAO. And then if you want to check us out online, our application is at nouns.build. We have some really cool features live on testnet. So if you want to check those out, testnet.nouns.build.
Thank you, bro. We Them Media. You want to tell them where to find you? You want to tell them more about what you do? And, 'cause-
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm actually working on a series called Who Benefits, and it's really looking at, and even like looking at Ethereum around the world, right? What is Ethereum? What is it? What problems is it designed to solve? And how can we think about it in a global context where we can start to think about what problems it actually is solving? And is it fulfilling on its mission per se? We the Media, I mentioned I got into crypto in 2021, late in the year. My college roommate was making a lot of money off NFTs on like a white list. And I was like, dang.
That's like August 2021?
Yeah, he was on like the Doodles whitelist. He had like all this money, and I was like, how did he do this? And he got me to get into like an ENS. I got an ENS, and I got that airdrop.
Hell yeah.
And I've been in this space ever since.
It's 10
And
grand. 10 grand.
I got eight grand. You got 10?
I got 10 grand.
See, yeah, see, and we're here, right? And kind of since then, I've been trying to understand: is this real? Why is it real? Where'd this money come from? And is this really a massive economic opportunity? Is this disrupting traditional systems that are extractive, right? And have had negative impacts, right, on the globe at scale per se. And it's kind of been like a research undertaking for me. And so this new podcast series is an opportunity to kind of bring together my perspective through connecting with builders around the world to kind of offer the everyday person, I would say, a global perspective on crypto and how it's here to make a difference. Whether or not it fulfills on that, isn't really up to us. But we at least get to let people know like what the ethos is. And my project is We Them Media HQ. On X, you can see our stuff there. On YouTube, we're We Them Media as well. My media lead, actually, he's based in Nigeria, in Abuja as well. And so we've been doing some events coverage there over the last year, and I'm just excited to, like, while I'm here, I'm on the hunt for a job. and I'm excited to be able to have a brand that can continue to provide value and pay our community members to contribute.
Thank you, bro. I noticed one thing that both of you said. You guys didn't tell. So, like, for people who are watching right now, for people that are gonna watch, because this is going on my YouTube. People that are gonna watch. Do you want to tell the people like how you got into crypto? Just a little short story of how you got into crypto and how you were able to develop yourself, how you got your first big win, and how you got here now.
Yeah, cool. So I used to work in fintech before, and I was working with investment products. And then that was also around, I think, 2018 when there was like this big drop in Bitcoin, and I was like really interested in it. Like, why were everyone calling it a bubble? What was special about it? And yeah, I just started investigating about it, and then for me, I come from Bolivia. And I guess similar to Nigeria, like we cannot really trust our institutions and governments, especially with money and money printing. So
And
for me,
inflation and a bunch of political
yeah,
instability.
exactly. Same in Bolivia. So we, well, for me, it clicked immediately that the model that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general was proposing of like stripping the power from the government over money was the right path, and then I just went down the rabbit hole, as they say. And the cool thing is that as soon as I learned about it and learned how to use it, I taught it to my family, because in Bolivia, maybe in Nigeria also, it's extremely expensive to send money abroad, and it's very hard. Like if you do a wire transfer, like it's really, you pay more more fees than what you're transferring. And if you do MoneyGram or Western Union, you also pay like an insane fee. And it was incredible that my family could send money to my brother that was living abroad, studying abroad, with a fraction of a dollar. And yeah.
So basically, you got into crypto as utility, not because you were trying to put on your 2 grand to 3 grand, not because you're trying to turn like 5K to 10K. You got into crypto for the utility,
Well,
for the purpose that it serves.
well, so it called my attention because of like the gains or losses. It was actually crashing like 50% in like few days. I remember in 2018, and that's what caught my attention. But then like reading more about it, it's the utility that like really.
Yeah, because
made
I
me
raised that point because a lot of people don't see crypto as like they don't see it for what it is, but they see it for money. Oh, please teach me, get me into it, please get me into crypto. I want to make some money. I want to buy this type of car you are driving. So a lot of people don't see the tech behind it. They don't know the usefulness behind it. A lot of people are using crypto, Bitcoin, USDT to pay school fees. People are using it to do. Your friend could be in Japan, it could be in Singapore. All of those things, those are like that's the beauty of it, the tech behind it. Like you said, now you have Octane, you have the yield, you have like the actual use case of what crypto could do and what crypto could be more and what crypto could be in the future. A lot of people are stuck to how can I turn my 2K to 3K? And that's why I made that point. But I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My Bolivian brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bolivia, man. I want to go to the Uyuni Salt Flats more than anything.
Man,
like
it's
more
my
than
favorite
anything
place
in
on
my whole
earth.
life.
I've been there like 4 or 5 times. It still impresses
same.
me every time.
Yeah, it's
You
a
should
dream.
go. You're all invited, guys. When you want to come to the Salt
sure.
Flats, let me know. It's like really insanely
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay, we're gonna set that date.
Hell yeah.
sure.
Hell yeah.
So I couldn't quite make out your question.
I want to know like how you got into crypto, how you started,
Okay.
your first major win, and what you've been through till now. Just something not too long.
So I worked in public policy for 7 years, grassroots public policy, environmental and public health.
So you work for the government.
No, I worked for nonprofits. So we helped litigate on things like the use of peptides, which are killing pollinators, single-use plastics. Let me think. We litigated the Volkswagen TDI diesel fraud, which may be a little specific on the nose, but we hold big polluters accountable. We help write consumer protections, regulations, that type of thing. But a lot of it was consensus building. I would work with communities for the better part of a year to build consensus around a policy initiative. We would fundraise around that policy initiative, and then we would go do the basic math for legislators. Look, this is how many people that support this. This is how much money we have behind it. Do you want reelected or not, right? And it was a pretty effective tool for change for the 7 years that we used it. But I watched Cambridge Analytica undo most of that work in a matter of months with 15 people in a room. And I left my career in grassroots policy organizing to understand the power of data science and machine learning and what it could unlock for nonprofit organizations, having seen what it could do for private interest already. And it wasn't long until I ran into a wall with centralized information infrastructure. With data science and machine learning, you need a ton of data. And it's incredible what you can do once you have that data, but there are actually really few people who have access to that volume of data. And not necessarily the people you want, because considering all the power that the data gives you. So I found out about IPFS as a way of sharing files at an academic level, large files, ensuring the permanence and countering censorship. But I really quickly came to understand the importance of the space in providing alternative services, especially in the Southern Hemisphere, to services that they had just been excluded from in the past. Like in some ways, like our foreign financial policy is an extension of our military industrial complex, and we support our national security interests by restricting access to capital markets across the world, which has really serious downstream effects for people in Bolivia, people in Nigeria. Can't get access, they can't get banking services, they can't get investments, they can't update their infrastructure to clean energy, and it's very intentional. And so I've spent the majority of the past 4 years working directly with those communities to apply these tools in a way that can change and impact their lives measurably and at a local level. That makes sense for them.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Man, thank you guys for coming on today. Do you have last words for the people? Do you have some last words for people watching us? Some motivational speech, anything?
Yeah, I would say just learn more, don't get stuck also in the quick gains of crypto. That is like the shiny object that we all have been drawn into it, which is also fun to play with, but understand that there is a lot more depth into it and a lot of utility and very impactful use cases for people. Primarily, I would say in the Southern Hemisphere, So really make use of it. Tell your friends about the real utility, and also have fun and make gains on the side, but really focus on the primary use cases.
You have some last words?
I'd say stay tuned for what's coming out between Nouns Builder and Octant. We've got some exciting stuff. We're trying to solve the problem of sustainable revenue.
Where's mine?
Those are for you.
There you go. Those are yours, sir.
There you go. You've been purple pilled.
Yo, they look good on you, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. It's, just like that, we're done.
Oh, let me get